Alright guys, so I'm running into issues with my FX right now, not turning on. I ran the codes. Yeah, there you go. Loss of communication with TCM. So I'm going to try to replace the battery first, see if that's the issue. If that doesn't fix it, I feel like it might be the alternator. Because I honestly can't think of what it would be. Because the only thing that I know that has been affected recently is the alternator when my power steering pump blew. And yeah, got fluid all over the alternator. I'm sure that messed it up. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take my battery off of my 370Z, plug it in over there, see if that works. Yeah, let's go ahead and take this off right here. So, no. There you go. This is a brand new battery. And these are different size batteries. This one's like bigger, but it's just so putting the car on. Now, one thing I did notice about my car is these things right here, they're exposed, and it's not supposed to be like that because on my 370Z it's not exposed like that either. Oh look, it's down there, so it fell off for some reason. I mean, I wonder if that could be a problem with that right there. So I just put in my newer battery, see if this works. But my only concern is like all these things are broken right here. Like this one is exposed, this one's exposed. I think I found it on Amazon for pretty cheap. But I mean, it's pretty concerning that everything's open. I wonder if one of these got damaged and that's why it's not working. Let's plug this back in. No. Something's for sure wrong. So I wonder what it could be. Let's run the codes again. See if anything pops up. Well, guess what, guys? We got the car running, and you won't believe what was causing the problem. So, this right here, I had installed one of these aftermarket Dressel bolts, and I had put it in place a lot, and it was causing it not to get a proper ground. So I'm wondering if this is going to cause a problem too. So I'm going to end up removing this and putting the old one back on. And I'm actually thinking about relocating the catch cans now over here versus being on my ground. So I'm going to put this catch can right in this area. Same thing over there, because I have another one right here, but this one's not connected to a ground directly. It's just a regular one. That's pretty interesting. That's the first. So don't mess with your grounds at this point. So I wonder if this right here is causing an issue. It looks like it's doing okay right now. Maybe because of this, it has a good ground. But that is so interesting. That is crazy. I was tearing down everything over here trying to figure out what it could be, just for it to be that over there. But I'm thinking about replacing this actually, because like everything is broken and I don't want it exposed. So that's gonna be like my next goal right now, is to go ahead and replace this part right here as well. So it just disconnects right there, disconnects right here, has two plugs, and it'll come right out. Alright, so I borrowed these from under the FX. They go to the bumper, and we're gonna go ahead and put one right there, another one right here, put it in it like that. Then the catch cans, and I'm mount right there with no issues, as you can see. We're going to use those dress-up bolts that we got to plug it in right there so it can look really nice and clean. Alright, so I got this one mounted right there. And as I mentioned before, I got this from the bottom of the car. It's the little retainer clips that hold the splash shield in. I just took 2 that I'm not going to need. You can also buy them from like AutoZone or Riley's. They sell them in a pack, but they're pretty expensive, I'm not going to lie. I think the pack is like 10 bucks for like maybe 3 or 4 of them. So it's better to get them like on Amazon. I'm sure they'll be a lot cheaper. But we're gonna put this one right there, just like that. Now we just gotta connect this right here. Now with the strip bar installed, I do think that this location is now a little bit better, just because it looks a little bit cleaner versus being like everything in one place. So highly suggest moving it to this area if you plan on getting a strip bar, but also for the ground, just have it connected to a proper ground as well. So this is not connected to a ground, but it looks pretty clean so far. I really like it. I just hope my hose is long enough to reach, and I had just cut it not that long ago because I was kind of noticing that it was kind of long being in that area right there, and I shouldn't have cut it because now I need the length. See, like right there, it doesn't reach, so I need to make a hole like right here, right in this area. Man, I wasn't planning on making holes right now. Alright guys, so everything is officially complete. This one obviously looks, you know, not the best because I had to make the hole further down. Now it doesn't have as much strain on the line right here. This one is actually pretty good. It's there, not coming off. Everything's on there tight. I do like the location over there better. I think it looks sick over there. I'm having it both like on top, but right here, I think this for right now is actually going to be the best bet because it's away from everything. It's over here. It's not on the ground. So I think this is a lot better in my opinion. But yeah, it looks pretty sick too. Kind of fills in the open space that's around here, like the dead space. How there's like nothing here. Now there's something in there to give it, you know, a little bit more character. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and end the video right there. It's insane that one little bolt messed up the entire car, and that just shows and proves how important grounds are to your car and why not to mess with them and make sure that they are connected properly. So what happened was, earlier on that day when I was doing that video, I actually installed some dress-up bolts on the FX to make it look a little bit nicer. Now, the reason why I started thinking that it might be the dress-up bolts is because I wasn't having any issues before. The car was running perfectly fine. So I was like, why is this happening now? The car was running perfectly fine. The only thing I've done recently was install the dress-up bolts. There's all these freaking flies in here and it's bothering me. I had my garage open and they're flying everywhere. I'm gonna have to do this somewhere else. Alright, I left my garage open for a bit and I think all the flies are gone, so we should be good. But so long story short, check your grounds before assuming it's the TCM, because automatically I started thinking my ECU was fried, TCM is messed up, and what the code reader was telling me was that it's something that communicates to the transmission and stuff like that, to the computer. It's not getting a reading, and the most common problems is going to be like a faulty ECU, faulty alternator, faulty battery, but nothing really went straight to like grounds. And this will help you out in the future if you're having this issue, is check your grounds first to make sure they're all good, because it is possible that you may have a bad ground to where it's like corroded, it doesn't have a proper connection. You're going to get this issue like I did, and it was just one bolt. Honestly, that one bolt caused that whole issue, because that one thing allowed the car not to turn on at all. I still had power, I could still put it on the on position, but I could not turn the car on for the life of me. It kept doing this, like, that wasn't really like an excessive ticking sound, but I could hear like a tick, 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 tick. When I would try to turn on, it was not working. So yeah, don't automatically think to go to your TCM. That's what I did to your ECU. I went straight to looking at that, see what was messed up. The good thing is along the way, I was able to fix a few things that I saw that were completely corroded when I removed the battery. The bottom plate, whenever like I would wash it, water would get down there. And I saw a bunch of water, and the bolts that hold down the plate for the battery at the bottom were completely corroded. Replaced those. I also saw a few broken parts on the connection to the positive. All of those were like broken. I'm going to replace that because that's pretty important. Having that exposed can cause damage, possibly getting water in there, corroding it, causing, you know, them to blow. And I'll make a video on it just in case you guys got to replace it as well. It's pretty easy, just a few bolts that you got to remove and 2 plugs. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned from my mistake and helps you guys out in the future, because I was looking for this online and I could not figure it out. A lot of people that were on the forums that had an Infinity were saying that they had to replace their ECU. I saw a few other videos from like older Infinities that, well, specific models and specific years had an issue with the ECU, and they actually get old over time. They go bad and they have to, you know, ship them out to get repaired and or get a brand new one, which could still possibly have the issue. Luckily that wasn't for me, but that could be a possible issue that you may have if you have this code as well, which is a bad TCM, bad ECU. Like I said, learn from my mistakes. Make sure that you know what you're doing, and always try to install one part at a time. Imagine if I would have done this and I would have installed a bunch of other parts. This would have took me forever to figure out if I would have done like a bunch of other grounds, like a bunch of other bolts. Here's the other interesting about this is the car actually turned on fine the first time I started it. Like I had the remote start, so I turned it on. I let it run for like 10 minutes, had no issues, was running perfectly fine. And then once those 10 minutes were up, the car just completely shut off out of nowhere. But hopefully this helps you guys out. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.